Introduction. I have lived 77 years doing and seeing stupid stuff. I have lived believing it's better to laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints. After retirement, I lacked something to do, so I went back to work for a small startup company. I worked about 2.5 or so years, and when I left, they had a little small luncheon for me. I was introduced to people whom I already knew, but the president said, "I never knew where this man was, I never knew what he was doing, but the rep base and the sales kept coming in, so I never asked." My first real memory was my mom laying on the kitchen floor with a .22 caliber rifle in hand and me laying on her back to stay out of the way. Suddenly, I heard a loud crack, and she screamed, "I got the son of a bitch." She proudly walked over to her fresh kill and picked up a rat the size of a cat. At that time, my dad was working as a hired man on a farm, and we were provided with a house in the middle of a pasture. We had a hand water pump inside the house, outside plumbing, and electricity in one room. It was heated with one of those old round coal stoves. The closest thing to air conditioner was a fan we could use if we didn't need that plug for anything else. There were any number of bugs and critters roaming the house at any time. The yard, which had no fence, was loaded with cow manure, and the cows roamed freely around us. We moved from that farmhouse when I was around 5. My dad was hired to work at the railroad in Galesburg. Although located in a lower-class, blue-collar neighborhood, this move was a big step up, moving into a home with running water, inside plumbing, and a semi-reliable heating system. Dad, being a low man on the totem pole at the railroad, could only work when they needed him, so he went looking for other forms of employment to make ends meet. He was industrious and found many other means to work. He would help people move furniture and work at a local church to set up chairs for their services or parties. Basically, he worked odd jobs for a long time. It seemed like he and my mother always found a way to put food on the table and pay the rent. Times changed, and he finally started to work in one of the factories located in town. The job was steady and paid well for the time. Although we had some gains in income, their marriage began to suffer. Dad started to drink heavily and stayed out later than necessary. My mother was not one of those to let things that bothered her stay inside. She made it known daily she was not happy, which finally led to a divorce. I was 12. My schooling started at Weston School. We had not moved into town soon enough for me to start kindergarten. We couldn't have afforded it anyway, so they just put me in first grade. At that time, kindergarten was not mandatory. I was only 5, and my birthday wasn't until October. I was always the youngest kid in my class. As a very immature, only child, I didn't do well in school. I had limited social skills and was perfectly content to be by myself. Frankly, I had no idea what school would be like. I hated it from the first day I attended. My mother told me more than once that when I got home from after my first day, I told my parents I was not returning to school. I hated school. With this as a beginning, it's not much of a stretch to understand that I might stray off center now and then. Well, quite often. Every day for 12 years I was forced to go to school. Things did change just after graduation. Yes, I did make it, barely. I graduated next to last in my class, and I think they just put me on the street because they were tired of putting up with me. I met the love of my life in high school and married her after her graduation. She gave me 3 awesome children who have since given us 3 awesome grandkids. I have worked in a factory, cut brush along the country roads, worked as a hired man on a small farm, been a plumber's apprentice, delivered appliances, and sold light bulbs door to door while in college. I attended college and received a bachelor's degree in finance. Been a construction estimator. Been a construction project manager. Developed pipe fabrication facilities for 2 mechanical contractors. Been a commissioned salesman. Written and facilitated a highly successful 2-day seminar for a major corporation. Lived in 3 states. Raced off-road motorcycles and won a championship and a second place in a different class for 2 different types of off-road events. Traveled 44 states, 39 of which I've done business. Done business and visited Germany, Belgium, France, Sweden, Switzerland, Netherlands, St. Martin, Mexico, Australia, Canada, Belize, Jamaica, Antigua, St. Lucia, Cozumel, Caymans, St. Bart's, Ethiopia, Kenya, Uganda, DRC, Rwanda, Sudan, Tanzania, and Burundi. Developed an oil reclamation system for both hydraulic and automotive oils. Have owned or been partners in 6 businesses. Received a patent on an off-road work vehicle. I proved it out on the Rubicon Trail, making it through in 10 hours. My wife and I have attended the Burning Man twice. Once in 2016, once in 2017. It's an event that really can't be explained. You have to experience it. I've been part of a 5-person design-build fast-track construction team. I've been associated with a startup business and ended up as a sales manager in over 8 states. Been a manufacturer's representative introducing a new major thermoplastic pipe and fitting line in the United States. Been part of a group that established a new medical facility for a rural community. Been part of a design-build group for a new ice cream sandwich shop for a rural community. Been chairperson for a group that will provide public water to 2 rural subdivisions. I've made a 6-figure income and been bankrupt. The first 2 stories start with an attempt to show how my attitude was established at a young age. I've done a lot of things and been a lot of places. I have the battle scars to prove them. The following is my recollection of just a few of the stupid things I've done and experienced in my life. Overall, it's been a ton of fun. Should I eventually be forced to live in a nursing home, I pity those poor old people. I got stories.